Born African, brother Born African. Welcome to the SAK podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you? It's been a long time. It's been a minute.
We thank God I'm fine, no complaints. I'm fine. Life is good. It's really been a minute. I never thought you remember this person in
There's no way I can't remember you, because when we were doing activism for the economic freedom fighters, you're one of the reggae artists that we would acquire the services for free.
I remember.
You would give your services for free whenever we were doing the EFF events. When we did the Tela Tupa rally in Tembisa, you came and performed for us for free. The set was free and it was live with the band.
Yes, I remember very well, vivid. It was an honor. I mean, just like you've said it, I see myself as such, as an activist. So that was my activism.
You were playing your part in society.
Exactly.
Tell us more about Born African. Who's brother Born African?
Born African is an average human being who just love life to the fullest and want the best for other people. More of a humanitarian, somebody who's willing to share and loves positivity in all aspects, and want to see people happy as much as myself to be happy. Born African is a business person. Born African is an artist musically, is a musician. Born African loves life, and I guess in simple terms, that's who I am, Yeah.
When we talk about your music, the reggae music that we do, what kind of music would you, categorize it as under reggae?
My music under reggae would be more on conscious vibes, music that carry positive lyrics, not just the beat, And because within reggae we have different branches, that have come out through the passage of time. But mine is more on a traditional, cultural, conscious vibes, Yeah.
You play with a live band, and it's very amazing to watch. What does it take to put a band together?
It can be complicated. It shouldn't be complicated, but it takes more of understanding, Yeah, I think it's for me, I see a band as family. Like, first, create that family with the people you work with, even those that are not really playing the instruments, but whether it's your driver driving around, whether it's your chef, if you have a private chef that cooks for you guys when you're touring, whoever runs around, but create that family bond like a team, then everything else will work. But also respecting the fact that musicians, players of instruments, that's their career, that's their job. So if you have a show, make sure you agree on the payment. What hurts most players of instruments is that when they perform, they don't get paid what maybe they agreed, or they don't get paid at all. So that really destroys the band, Besides the creativity, musicians, players of instruments, everyone is creative in their own way. So sometimes everybody wants his idea to be respected or his idea to be implemented, which is not possible, because in one song you cannot put all the ideas. It'll be messy, you know what I mean? So, but what I think needs to be understood when you work with a band is that, let's say, like you mentioned, that I perform for the EFF for free. I have to make the band, the players of instrument, understand that whether they agree or not, that's a different
It's activism work.
You understand what I'm saying? So I as a leading person, speak to the band, make them understand, and whatever I agree with them is what carries the day, So yeah, I think they just have to be understanding when you work with a band. Be open about everything, and otherwise, it's like any other place where you work with people. Just be straightforward with issues, and don't hold back, and stick to it, to the agreements, and yeah, everything works.
Let's start from the beginning. I mean, you've made your name in the whole Southern African region. You've made your name in the reggae music category.
Yeah.
Where did it start? Where did this whole journey of wanting to be a creative and under reggae start?
Reggae is like, to me, became my parent, it came that torchbearer of in my life. It came the guiding light, you know. So listening to reggae growing up, that's what it did to me, you know. It has always been that encyclopedia type of thing in my life in terms of advisory and all sorts of positive things that I got out of it, you know. And before I knew it, it just caught me now. It was my turn to present that same vibe to the others, you know. I always had music in me growing up as a child, you know. My uncle played music in the rural areas, you know, with acoustic instruments, you know, these traditional homemade guitars and all those things, you know. So I always had music. I always used to dance a lot. I always used to play drums and all that, sing, you know, in church and all that. But I wasn't too sure if I would play music growing up. You know, at the same time, like I said, I loved reggae in that aspect that it always reprimanded me from doing the right wrong to doing the right thing, you know. And I guess when the time came for me to start now presenting my case as a musician, I think reggae came natural for me to say this is the vehicle I would use, you know, this is the genre that I would use because it worked for me. So I guess it'll work for somebody else. And I just found myself vibing into the reggae, writing songs and presenting them in a reggae format, and I guess that's how it all started. You know what I mean?
Your lyrics are very conscious. Is that intentional to have a message that is meaningful and that holds something very strong? Is that something that you do intentionally when you're writing?
Yes, I would say yes. Though it's also something that comes natural. You know what I mean? Because I love life in a very positive aspect. So it comes natural. But again, yes, it's intentional. I mean, I would not want to write songs about lyrics that promote negativity, such as gangsterism and recklessness in life, hurting the next person or robbing the next person. So it is intentional that I really make sure of my lyrics that they are uplifting and constructive to humanity. You know? Yeah, man.
So when we're looking at African music and the influence, because reggae music comes from the Caribbean,
Yes.
you know, what influenced you to be in that genre? And you say you want to pick up something that was held so highly by the legends from the Caribbean.
You know, it's interesting, and thanks to Jamaica. Let's mention Jamaica in particular.
Thank you, Jamaica.
Thank you, Jamaica. You know,
Talk to the camera, then say thank you,
thank
Jamaica.
you, Jamaica, for this beautiful music. Reggae. I mean, Jamaica is very small in size, but it's big in music,
It's
and I'm telling you. So we should be grateful that they managed to share this music globally, and it's beautiful music. So it caught me like a virus, and it seems this virus has no cure. So how I can explain that? The music caught me, and I just had to go with the flow.
ran with it.
Yes.
You decided to run with it.
Yes.
Any collaborations that because when we look at music, music is not you don't work in silos, you work with collaborations. Are there any collaborations that you've engaged in that you see that these collaborations were great collaborations? They made it worth my while.
Oh yes, yes. For most people that follow reggae and understand reggae, I mean, they would know groups like Morgan Heritage, Luciano. So I've done songs with such greats. You know, these are Grammy Award winners and Grammy Award nominees. You know, and they really like amongst the top reggae artists in the world. So I did a song with Morgan Heritage. Mama Africa. I've done a song with Luciano, Give Thanks and Praise. I did a song with Sizzla, who is also one of the high rated reggae artists of today's generation, you know. And not just one. I did like 3 songs with Sizzla, you know, and I did songs with Fantan Moja, Lutan Fire, Ja Mason, Tebirant, you know, and all these are artists of like high standards and respected worldwide within reggae and other genres too. So for me, it's a blessing and an honor at the same time that I was able to do songs with such greats, and I don't take it lightly. And for me, that pushes me to keep on, soldiering on, to keep on moving, to keep on doing it, because not did I ever dream that I'll be able to do songs with such grace. And for the fact that it happened, I always say, you know what, the sky is the limit. And I guess I'm on the right path, you know what I mean? And through these people, they have also helped me open doors for others. I also did a song with Capleton, if I forget. Capleton is one of the great artists also out there, and they have introduced me to other reggae artists, other artists that are also great, that hopefully in the future will continue. Collaboration is the order of the day, so yeah, I hope to do more collabs with more great artists within the African continent, from the Caribbean, from wherever, as long as the situation allows and the creativity can work, yeah.
Because you're mentioning very big names. Because if you're mentioning Morgan Heritage, Luciano, Sizzla, you're mentioning very big names.
Yes.
I want to understand the delicate preparation that goes into having a collaboration with such artists. What is the preparation? What do you go through to prepare to record with such artists?
I'll be honest with you, there was no any format with all of them. There was no format that was laid down or followed. It's just a matter of like, we'll sit down and we'll be talking, like reasoning, as friends, as brothers, I remember when I flew to Kenya to meet Morgan Heritage before I brought them to Malawi for a performance, So I booked them. So I had to fly to Kenya. At that time, they were staying in Kenya for a little while, Kenya was like one of their places where they stayed.
Residency.
Yes, So we were just talking in their house, like reasoning and, so I think we tapped into each other's energy and we realized that it's like I'm speaking before I finish my word, you finish the word. I don't know what you call that, but we were like so in sync. In our thought process and everything else, and then I brought the idea. I'm like, what, it would be an honor to do a song with you. Then they say, well, of course, why not? You know what I mean? And they say, I remember the lead singer, the late great Peter Morgan, asked me, what do you have in mind? I'm like, maybe the song about Mama Africa, because they were also living in Ghana at the same time, between Ghana and Kenya. And I've got so much love for Mama Africa, the continent. And I think they have the same thing, and they're like, okay, we can. So we were just like playing around with words. Before you know it, the song was building. Before you know, the song was building. And then we left it there. I flew back to South Africa. They were still in Kenya. I flew back to Malawi, and we kept talking, and I was like, I came up with something, I had laid down a structure of the beat and I put like a hook and all that. And I think I dropped one verse, then I sent him like, oh, this sounds cool. It's like, Peter's like, no, but I'll do the chorus. I'm like, why not? You know what I mean? He says, I'll do the chorus. You wrote the chorus, but I'll sing the chorus. Then you keep the verse, then we'll add another. I was like, yes. So yeah, it was same with Capleton. Sizzla also, it was the same thing when he came to South Africa. I had the privilege of being very close to him, and I would visit him one time. He was staying in Midrand, and we'll talk for hours. I'm like, yo, you must visit the studio, Oh, you got a studio? I'm like, yeah, at my house I have a studio. So he took time and he came and visited. Then I was just playing some of the song that I had recorded. It's like, yo, that tune
He
back.
fell in love
Yeah,
with it.
that one is nice, It's like, can I have a piece of paper and a pen? I'm like, he started writing there. He's like, yo, I need the mic. Put on the headphones, put on, you know what I mean? And everything was just, no special preparation to say, no, this time we're going to be in the studio. This time we're going to be, same with Jamison. Jamison, at some point, he was staying at my house, when he had some shows here, So he would visit the studio, and all I would do is just to play some songs, and he'd be like, "Yo, Born, is that you?" I'm like, "Yes." Like, "No, I love that. You know, I love that. I love that." So I was like, "Yeah, what do you think?" It's like, "Can I drop a verse?" I'm like, why not? You know? So it was very organic, if I may say. You know, it was very organic, nothing very special to say, okay, this is the time. No, it was just done like very, very freely and yeah, pure, you know? Yeah.
Because I'm listening to you while you're talking, and you're talking about these, big colossal names coming from the Caribbeans of
Yeah.
artists who
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
so humble to want to collaborate with their African brothers.
Yeah.
And I think you've got an events company where you organize
Yes.
tours for big artists.
Yeah.
Burning Spear is one of the artists that you hosted on the Malawian leg.
Yes. Not the lake as such, but we brought him to Malawi.
Yeah, brought him to Malawi.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can you walk us through that?
The Burning Spear show. I mean, besides Burning Spear, I also hosted other artists. But yeah, let's speak of Burning Spear. So I would say I'm privileged to be resident in South Africa and Malawi, you know. So my friends from South Africa, Lioness Productions, which is Fikile and their husband, DJ Fanta, know that Born is involved in events beside being an artist who performs, you know. And we share, we talk very often, you know. We talk like, what are your plans? What are your plans? Are you doing anything this year? You know what I mean? So they mentioned that Burning Spear was planning an One People Africa tour, and do I want to jump on it? I was like, why not? But what's the cost? You know, they're like, no, we'll discuss that at a later stage. You know, but should we include Malawi on the countries that he would perform? Like, yeah, why not? You know, I spoke to some friends, business partners at home. They also bought into the idea, and before you know it, we signing contracts, and boom, the trip happened. You know, so it was a collaboration of Born African Productions and other production houses in Malawi, that made it happen for the Malawi version of his tour, you know. And I think, in South Africa it was Lioness Production.
Yeah, it was Lioness
Then I think he also did Zambia, and he also did Zimbabwe. Then he also went as far as Kenya. Yeah.
So when you were hosting him after his South African leg, because when he came to South Africa, he was at Emperor's Palace.
Emperor's Palace, yeah.
The open park.
Yeah.
And then after Emperor's Palace, he went to meet up in Venda to meet with the legend, Dr. Colbert Mukwebo. Then after that, he came to Malawi. How was the atmosphere like when he was in Malawi?
Wow, the Burning Spear in Malawi was, I would say, one of the greatest shows that I've experienced. You know, it shows that to me are very memorable. It shows like one great show was the one for Lucky Dube, Morgan Heritage, Burning Spear. It shows that are very, very, to me, memorable. You know, there was another show, not reggae though, it was PJ Powers. Was one of the great shows that I've experienced in Malawi. And yeah, Kanda Bongo Man at some point. You know Kanda Bongo Man?
Very well.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the one who does the Mengele Mengele song. Ella Mengele Mengele Mengele. Or is another one. Or Kofi Olomide, or mix them up.
I'm not sure, but
but I know Kanda
But that's
Bongo
the genre you're singing. That's yeah. So one of those few shows that I can mention without hesitation that Burning Spear was one of the great shows, but it brought people that don't really go out, because Burning Spear now, what I saw in Malawi, had the young ones coming to the show, and allow me to use the word, very old ones, you know, that maybe don't frequent
shows.
You know, but they came out just because he's carried through with him different generations. So he's got fans of all generations that came out, and
he's got range.
Yes, and the highlight of Burning Spear show was that we were afforded the honor of him meeting the president of Malawi and other high profile people. So that was like very honorable and great for him to be able to meet the leaders when he was in Malawi. As much as I don't know what they discussed,
Politics, of course.
you know,
Of the
I
African
wish I was
continent.
listening. You know? Yeah.
I see here it.
Mhm.
I see here Spotify recognizes the song Mama Africa. It says a song and lyrics by Born Afrikan
Yeah.
and Morgan Heritage.
Yeah.
Was it released in 2023? No?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see it this year.
Yeah. So now, when you have released such songs that are big with such big artists and have a company that hosted them in Malawi, I don't understand how's the Rasta culture and the reggae culture in Malawi?
It exists, first of all. The Rasta culture exists. It's in full effect. It has gone, or it's going through its challenges, like many other places that I've visited. And but it has its impact, it has its influence, and it has its positive side that society loves about it. And there is a negative side that also society has created without really knowing what Rasta is all about. But let me speak of the positives. It's a positive movement.
Yeah.
Very loving, caring, supportive, and humble people, and yeah, very constructive. You know, that's what I know of Rasta, being Rasta myself. Very constructive, very supportive, very positive. You know, but unfortunately, you meet challenges in life. You can be as pure as you are without hurting nobody, without starting a fight, but somebody will start a fight with you. So we do come across such challenges. You know, we do come such challenges in life. And the reggae vibes in Malawi is phenomenal. Because you don't have to be Rasta to play reggae in Malawi.
Well.
You find that people in church, they will release an album, but they'll throw maybe half of the album, maybe sometimes the whole album. It's got a reggae beat. You know what I mean? But it's not about Rasta. You know, the reggae rhythm is just in them. Malayan people, the reggae rhythm, yeah. Anybody just loves the reggae rhythm. Yes, they just love to throw it in their music. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think you're Malawian.
I'm Venda. Remember, we've got Colbert Mukwe in Venda.
Oh yeah, because I'm thinking, how are you getting it so quick?
We've got Colbert Mukwe in
Yeah,
Venda.
no,
So he like literally started a whole movement.
I know the doctor. You can't forget that.
Yeah.
He actually is one of the people that inspired me, you know, from the time when he was hiring the Rasta family.
Yeah.
Before
He became,
rebranding to, you know,
Colbert Mukwe.
yeah. But I remember songs like "Punish All
The Killers We See."
Now," you know. Then there was like "Sweet reggae music is moving in my bones," and even people don't know that he's the originator of "Heroes Party"
With Brenda Fassie.
Yeah, you know.
A lot of people don't know that's Dr. Colbert Mukwe was singing.
They don't.
Yeah.
So he's one of the artists that really inspired me a lot from South Africa, and many others like Jambo, Sipo Johnson, Lucky Dube. There was Angola. Those you know, those Sister Pumi. Those reggae. South Africa, beside the Caribbean, I followed a lot of reggae artists in South Africa growing up as a youth, and it really played a big role also in my life, you know. Yeah, so but reggae in Malawi is alive, you know. It's alive, and it's played by everyone, no restrictions, you know.
Do you find people, when you're hosting events in Malawi, do you find they support your production in a satisfactory manner, or do you have to go through a lot of marketing, or people just know that Brother Born is going to put out something in the summer or something through the holidays and festives, and we're going to enjoy?
I don't know how I want to find the best way of putting this. I really get full support, but marketing is the key. You know, because there's so many other people throwing their events, and I think it's just the nature of the business. You have to market it. Why I say I have to find a way of putting it is like, I wish I had everything in place so I could do more events, because the demand is higher than I'm able to put in the events, you know what I mean? So I would say the support is great, the support is great. And somehow it puts me under pressure, it puts me under pressure to say, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Because I'm not just in music business. I have to focus on other things, you know what I mean? But yeah, the support is there. Like, people would call you, people would really stop you on the street. Like, when is the next event? When is the next event? So the support is great, honestly. Yeah.
You're not only just an artist. What I pick up is that you're an artist. Like I said, you're an entrepreneur as well as an activist. How do you balance the business part of your music?
Thankfully, my own boss. So,
Isn't that all the pressure is there when you're your own boss?
I'm telling you, and but it takes hard work. It don't just happen, So yeah, being your own boss, I think it's a little bit easier, and I just multitask, I've mastered the skill of multitasking, and simply, I guess that's how I manage, when and the music is just beside the it being a business. I think it's my first passion. So when I'm sitting, I can be in my studio till 1 a.m. to 12 a.m. creating, practicing, going through, you know what I mean? So I just multitask, to be honest. I don't have any restrictions. I don't have nobody would call me to order to say, hey, but I'm hands-on. Besides being multitasking, I'm hands-on. I make sure that everything is followed. Everything you jot down is followed. If you plan to do ABCD, did I do it? Did I make this phone call? Did I do this? You know what I mean? Because you can multitask, but you can again be failing in your multitasking because you're so relaxed thinking that I'm my own boss. But even being your own boss, you reprimand yourself, in your doings, to say, hey, did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? You know what I mean? So I'm a very hands-on person. I'm a hands-on person. I'm very disciplined when it comes to work. Yeah.
So with the young artists that will come into the set of your production, how do you advise them when you're mentoring them to balance music and business?
Hard work pays, but not overnight. Stay focused. Increase your knowledge in everything you want to do. Every day things are changing. So something you knew even a month ago could have changed by today. Something you knew 2 years ago. So always keep updating and increasing your knowledge in what you're doing. And you can't be a lazy person if you want to succeed in everything in life. So you really have to push yourself. And like I said, the reward is not overnight. You gotta love what you're doing. You gotta stay focused. And the more knowledge you have about something that you want to do in life, the better. Because it's not all the time you're gonna find somebody coming and advising you that you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. So you must be your own educator. You must find ways of getting information yourself first, so that if there's other sources or other places where you can get information, it's just an additional part of the information you have already. So hard work, stay focused, disciplined, and the information of what you want to do is very, very important.
So when you've got a studio in the house at home.
Yes.
So when you're doing your production, and when you say you're getting into the studio with your band and you say, now we're putting out a production, do you have a vision of saying that we want this particular EP to go this far? Do you set up those kind of goals?
There's times I've done that, like conceptual projects, and there's times we just let the music go out. You know what I mean? The time we had COVID, I had an EP where we mostly sang songs about COVID. You know what I mean? So that was like a conceptual song that were sort of like strictly done for that particular
I'm
period.
really interested to know what would be the reggae, what would be the lyrics of a Rasta man talking about COVID. I'm really interested to know that part.
You get it. But besides that, I feel naturally my music taps into life any day. So I just let it flow, I let it flow, and but I allow myself the creativity is overwhelming sometimes, it's like sometimes it can make you sad, sometimes it can make you happy. But personally, what I do when I'm overwhelmed with the creativity, I need to let go. I need to record, lay down the lyrics or whatever that is playing in my head, so that I release that energy, so that I feel relieved a little bit. So there's more music that I record than the music that is out there. Yeah, so it's just a matter of, like I said, multitasking. Okay, when is this music going to come out? When is this music going to come out? And have we given enough time for this music to be heard? And da 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 da.
So, what gave you that inspiration to say, "No, no, I want to be based in South Africa because Johannesburg is a hub of the creative industry"? And you say to yourself, "I want to be based in Joburg. This is where everything is going to work out for me as an artist." What informed that decision to want to be based under the city of Joburg as a hub of the creative industry?
Well, nothing was planned in that way, but I got inspired to record here first. There was a few artists from Malawi that had recorded in Malawi, in South Africa. One particular one is the late great Lucius Banda. He recorded here, and when he went home, the quality was better. And beside the quality, his album was like the bomb. I think at that time it even won the album of the year. His songs were he just became a legend overnight, And then remember also, like I said, watching artists like Lucky Dube, PJ Powers, and all those coming to Malai performing, I saw that their standard was a little better than what we had in Malawi. Understand what I mean? Even listening to their music that's just recorded from what you used to call bubblegum. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, bubblegum music.
Chimora, you remember Chimora? Everyone that I listened
And
to.
Danchanda, I think.
Yeah, Danchanda and Peter Tinet, Ponjov, all those. So you get inspired because the production was better. So the intention was not really to say, I'll be based in SA, in Johannesburg, whatever. The mission was to record. Hopefully you get it right and you go back and then you carry on, But unfortunately, being young and naive and like I said, information is important. I didn't have that information. You come here, you realize it's not as I thought. I wish I had reached out to those people at home who had recorded and gotten the information from them. Like, okay, how did you do it? But I didn't. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a record label. I'm gonna
Just
get
like that.
signed. I'm gonna get signed, overconfident of myself, And when I came here, of course, I knocked a few doors, and the response was not so pleasing. And so what I thought, like, I went to Gala Records, I went to EMI, I went to, you know what I mean? And they were like, no, this music is not for this place. And also, we do budget. We have artists already that are enough for now, and there's time when we would need another artist, but we don't know whether it's for reggae or for what genre, whatever. I started understanding those things, but I kept the relationship with such people. Now I started getting information. Then I was like, okay, now what do I do? I tried to record I found an advert in Sowetan newspaper. I remember, I think that was way 90 something, late 90s. I found an advert in the Sowetan, and I remember the guy's name was Becky. He was in Orlando West. Trust me, I've never been to Soweto ever until that day when I say, you know what? I started asking, how do I get to Soweto? People like, you can't go to Soweto. Hey, you Malay, what are you going to do, Soweto? I'm like, I want to record. I want to record. And even my homeboys were like, no, you know what? You're really putting your life on the line. I'm like, no, that's not how I feel inside. I took a kumbi, I think to Breeze, if I remember.
Yeah, Breeze Street. Yeah.
I went to Soweto. And these times, remember, there was phone booths and all that. That's what I was using. And I was communicating with the guy until I met the guy, until we went to his house at the backyard, until I recorded that song. His name was Baker. I remember very well, but we lost contact, unfortunately. Then I got the song. I used it as a demo. Still, it didn't work. Then I got grounded. Now I'm thinking, I had left home with so much publicity that I'm going to come back with some hit songs and all that. And I felt like defeated, And then I said, I didn't say as such, but people advised me, no, why don't you save up, get a little piece job, save up, and then maybe you can record independently, and then you do what you want.
Publish, yeah.
Before you know it, there's rentals, there's this, there's survival, and
There's
now you
family.
start understanding what the seed of God is all about. Like, okay, where do I get that gold? You gotta work for it. You gotta pay the bills. You gotta pay. So before you know it, I was found myself, I would say, stuck in trying to achieve my music goals, but I wouldn't call it now stuck, because end of the day, it just took longer to happen. I've managed to record. I record now. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
You're
just
recording
that-
with big artists now.
and I got what I wanted.
And you're a big artist
I
yourself.
got the studio is the seed of God. Just I'm saying sometimes the success is not overnight, so it still happened. It still happened, though it took longer, but it happened.
Let's go back to you going to from the city of Joburg inside the city at the Central Business District, going to Breetex and taking a taxi to Soweto. That story, because Soweto is a place of the revolution.
Yeah.
When we talk about Soweto, we talk about the revolution.
Sure.
When you were going with the taxi into Soweto, was there anything that caught your eye that looked like inspiration to say that it looks like I'm going somewhere there?
If not everything, because I'll be honest with you, I'm coming from a small city, which is very remote. Infrastructure is different altogether. The roads are narrower than here. Here you have wide highways, and so everything I would say was inspiring to me, And but one thing that I've stayed with it until today is the wrong perception that I was given by
Of Soweto.
yes, to say it's dangerous. People kill each other there. I still go to Soweto any day, like today. I go to Vilakazi, I chill, I eat. Not to say those things don't happen, but you cannot single out Soweto and say like people kill each other. So like it's a no-go zone. That is the wrong perception that I would say I had then. But luckily, with my positive thinking and the eagerness to do what I wanted to do, I went there and I was just talking to anybody. I asked people, I'm looking for this person, this
Walking the streets.
alone. Alone. You can call me a stranger. I didn't feel like a stranger. But when I was like, I'm a human being, I'm on earth, I'm living, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, And until today, I still do it the same way, If I want to go anywhere, I just go freely, with a free mind, positive vibes. And trust me, you send me to Venda, I'll go now. I don't hesitate, because I think the truth is human beings, we are really born natural with love. And you can draw your negativity to yourself if that's what you also engulf yourself with, So I think I carried so much positive vibes, and I think everybody was just positive from because every step, remember, and I'll say this with all the respect, but I had some homeboys who have been here for a little while, and everyone refused to go with me to Soweto, even
Because they were told something.
they believed what I would call the negativity. You know what I mean? But I was like, you know what? It's not going to stop me. I'm going to go. Someone like, it's better you go with the meter takes. So it will take exactly to the spot and come back. And looking at the little man I had, it is not working. But again, I was like, but I see people walking, talking freely. This does not add up.
Yeah.
This doesn't add up, So when I went there, the people were cool to me. They were very cool. They took me into the studio. We had fun, and actually they gave me more time to record than the money that they were charging per hour, because we just got along. You know what I mean? So the whole trip was very inspiring, and I'll never forget it.
I think, trips like these are very important. Going to Soweto is a place of inspiration for a creative, because majority of the creatives of South Africa, I think they came out of Soweto.
Many, I learned through the passage of time.
Yeah, even the revolutionaries,
Yes.
they were stationed out of Soweto.
Yes.
present day, when people are coming from Soweto, they are scared to come into the city because they say the city is dangerous. So you can imagine the parallel of believing that Soweto is dangerous. It's just a propaganda that is out there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
definitely,
it's never something to be taken serious.
Definitely.
Okay, let us go into where you come from. You talk of a small city. I want to know this small city. Which one is it?
Small in comparison to Johannesburg, yes.
Which city is that?
Within Malawi also, it's a small city to compare to the others. I come from what I would call Zomba, the capital city of Malawi, during the colonial era. Yeah. Of course, I was born in Blantyre,
Which is the main city.
commercial city.
Yes.
Yeah. Though somehow things have really moved to the capital city, Lilongwe. It has become a capital and commercial city. But I grew up knowing Blantyre as the commercial city, where the creatives, everything used to happen in Blantyre City, where I watched all these people that I was talking about, your Brenda Fassie, your Chico, your Lucky Dube, your
When they
PK
came out to
Powers,
perform.
yes, the Kanda Bongomans, the Media Barrels. I watched them in Blantyre. That's where things was happening. But these days, things now happen in Lilongwe, which has become capital / commercial city. So I was born in Blantyre, and then living with parents, they moved to Zomba, where they still stay until today, which is the former capital city during the British rule in Malawi. So it's a very remote, very quiet, very greenery, very subtle city, mountainous. I love it. I love it.
Are there any ancient structures in Malawi that maybe we can look into as tourism, things that the people of Malawi built during ancient times, their lifestyle during then when they were living during those times prior to colonial times?
Oh, yes. Yes. There's let's call them heritage sites.
Yeah, heritage sites.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Yeah, there's some almost all over the place, Yeah, there's and there's also mystical places.
Mystical places. That's what we are interested in, wanting to pick up about the country.
Yeah, the best way is Malawi is visa free. Let's arrange. I take you there, but there's some I haven't visited. Some I've visited, and there's great places that Africa itself has a lot of such holy places, mysterious places, powerful places, that vibrates even when you just reach there. You know what I mean? And
I know them. We've got a lot of them in Venda.
yeah. Somewhere you just go and wash yourself, and you really feel the difference that I needed to do this. The way you think, the way you feel yourself about. Maybe you're feeling heavy, you just start feeling lighter. You're just feeling better. You maybe had questions of certain things, you just find answers popping up. You know what I mean? Yeah, so there is great places like that, I would call them sacred
sites.
Yes.
So when you're traveling around the continent, what draws your attention the most when you're traveling?
The similarity Africans have, and as much as we seem to be not so appreciative of it, let me use the word, the setup of rural area villages, the houses, the round grass thatched houses, the food, the way we pass on knowledge from the elders to the youths, sitting by the firewood and all that. The whole setup, it's beautiful, and the similarity is bigger than what maybe
a difference.
Yes. So that's what really always touches me. That's what always makes me keep loving Africa and Africans, Yeah.
So what would you say, like in Malawi, because I'm very much interested in Malawi as a country, because you guys are my family. You know, I've got a lot of Chewa speaking friends. Colin,
You found me.
Colin is one of them. Chileso Bonongwe is one of them. So I've got Malawian family. So that's why I would like to know more about Malawi, because it's one of those countries that I'm very much interested in visit. The main language in Malawi is Chichewa, right?
Yes, Chichewa.
And the other dialects that are spoken in Malawi?
There's Yawo, there's Lomwe, there's Tumbuka, there's Tonga, there's Nyakusha, there's Sena, which is also spoken. Some of these languages are also spoken in parts, like Chewa is spoken in Zambia. Sena is also spoken in parts of Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Lomwe, part of Mozambique, Malawi. Swahili, we have Swahili also in the northern part of Malawi, which is also spoken in Tanzania. Yeah, and also parts of Zambia. So even Nyakusha is also spoken in the northern part of Malawi, which is also found in a bit of Tanzania. Then there's the Ngoni, which is more like Zulu here. It's also found in Zambia and a bit of Tanzania also. Yeah, so I would say those are like the more popular languages. Like I said, our similarities are more than
yes, because I look at it whenever, Chileto or even Kenny or his brother, they're just speaking, when they're speaking Chichewa, it relates, it's because it's a Bantu language. There's too much interrelatedness. You can easily pick up the words that they're speaking in their languages. And you realize that there was a root somewhere where this language is all branched out of. Do you see
so
that?
Much even when you guys speak, whether you're speaking Venda, whatever language, I sit down with you. I'm sure I'll tell you what you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Besides like the advantage of living here, but naturally the dialect is very related. You know what I mean? Like you say, the Bantu languages,
they stem from one root.
They
stem from one root. It was just branching out and creating, diversions and creating own, territories. But they all come from one source.
Yeah.
So when one is visiting Malawi, what are the kind of arts events that we can check out, that you can say that these are annual events that are very good that we can check out? Because I've seen Makazi has gone a lot to Malawi to perform. There are big events. There are big events that happens in Malawi. Which events can we check out when we're going to Malawi, the arts events?
Yeah. Now there's this one coming up. The Lake of Stars is one of the big events. The Sun Festival is also one of the big events. And there's the UMP coming up. It's also one of the annual big events. All these that I've mentioned, and a few others. A few others that I can.
Yeah. Understandably so. We're just looking at the big ones that come through, because you're talking of artists, big artists like a Dube, PJ Powers,
those, of course, those
who have come through to perform in Malawi, meaning the arts culture in Malawi is alive.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Well, it's one of those industries that are mostly respected.
Yes.
Looking at the African continent, when you look at where we are now and you look at our ancient times, what do you think that we are not getting right now that our ancients or our elders were getting right during their time when we were still black?
I would say life in general, right? Or you mean just artistic career?
Life in general.
I think, personally, I feel we have lost, or we are undervaluing our own powers in terms of keeping our tradition and cultures. I would speak of something more recently. I think we're still in Heritage Month.
We're sealing it today. I think is this the last day of September?
Yeah, today.
We
seem only to honor it when it, you know what I mean, which I think is wrong, So I think that's something that we have lost, and in doing so, we have replaced it with cultures that are not really in sync with who we are as a people, And I think tradition and culture is what gives people power and identity, So we are losing our identity in many ways. We are losing our African cuisines, our recipes. We are losing our African sport. We are losing our African ways of uh, marriages. We are more into
Western.
white wedding, which is also a tradition in it's a traditional wedding to them. But I don't know what got it into us, or I don't know who to blame. But I think we need to get back to who we are. We need to get back into who we are. In many ways that we are sort of like undermining and not appreciating, thinking, no, this is not me, but actually that's who you are, and that's what gives you strength and identity into the world podium, if I may put it. Yeah.
Because when I look at the African heritage and I look at, the things our ancestors created, it be in the art space. Because, I look at pottery. We had a lady here on our previous podcast, Sis Angel Lebese. She's a potter. She deals with the soil. Her life is around the soil and mud. That's all she does all her life. When she was, relating the stories of how important the mud is to pottery and the African culture. And I look at us now when we are living the westernized life, we seem to undermine our way of doing things. And the ancient way of doing things seems to be the African way of doing things. So seems to be, majestic.
And sadly, let me speak of even fashion, like we're saying, we only seem to dress African.
Textile.
Yeah, we seem to dress African in its Heritage Month, whatever. But I've seen our designs being stolen and being portrayed on world platform as designs of some other places. When we could have been doing it ourselves. Then we seem to wake up, oh guys, no, we can do this. Like, no, you have it. It's in us. It's in our DNA. We just need to embrace it, and we need to market it and promote it, and we need to eat, wear, dress, live Africans in all aspects, and naturally would get the recognition that we deserve. Because if you take somebody's things, you always be second best. We always be second best, honestly. So we need to rethink the ways of doing things. Even I've seen some places where even the school uniforms, they have done it in the African way. I think it's one step also to.
Yeah, I think it's in Ghana.
I think it's in Ghana. It's one step to sensitize the youth, to say, even the dress code does identify one, as to say, who look at the Chinese. I know Chinese clothes when they just wear it. I can't say this is Indian. I know Indian clothes because the dress code also speaks volumes of who we are, So really and true, we need to find ways of getting back to our roots, And talking of soil is who we are, I love soil so much. I mean, it heals, we eat it, we use it in so many ways, and really and true, we need to understand, and we need to merge to find a way of incorporating it into our lives. Even the stones are not just for bling bling. They have energy that we need to have those diamonds in our homes. We need to have all those precious stones, the rubies in our homes, and it's part of us. They bring beautiful energy. They protect us in different ways, and they guide us in many ways. We need to go back to that. Even if we have to decorate the wall again with diamonds, that's who we are. Why not? You know what I mean?
Because now, when you do those kind of things, now people will call you a heathen, mohedeni, or they'll call you a devil worshipper, or you're doing something that's out of character.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing things that are related to African ancient way of practices.
Oh, but it's unfortunate when one lacks knowledge, they are quick to speak, though. Unfortunately, people with not so much information, they are quick to criticize. But like I mentioned, you can be pure, you can be doing the right thing but an enemy will emerge from somewhere. So we're going to have what I call them agents of negativity, but it shouldn't stop some of us who love Africa, who want to do it that way. I remember in Malawi, I'm from the Ngoni tribe, which somehow it's believed that they are linked with Ndebele, Zulu, whatever, you know what I mean? So we have this cultural event annually, which is called Umteto. So I attended on the 8th of September, and I was wearing the whole attire. Then a friend of mine, it's like, are you a Sangoma? And I was like,
And the funny part is that being a Sangoma is not a culture; it's a gift.
but there's nothing wrong with it also.
Yeah, there's
but
nothing
the
wrong
way
with
this person put it already is like, you discarding me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what do you mean?
Mm.
I'm like, don't be quick to look and reach to conclusions. Look at the picture you're seeing and ask me again. I see. Oh, you're wearing the Zulu, you're wearing. I was like, where do I start to re-educate this person? You know? So sadly, you have a whole lot of people who just look, maybe you're wearing something in your neck or a bracelet, some already quick. Oh, you are this. I have no problem with Sangomas. I have no problem. They've been part of us as a people, and we just need to coexist with them. Fortune tellers, all these people, they are part of us. Why would I discard them? On what grounds? For what reason? You know?
Because I'm looking at this situation and I'm asking myself, as an artist, one of the most important things as a job of an artist that you have as an advocate of the arts is to preserve the African heritage through the art space.
Yes.
What's your plans to preserve the art heritage that you have already maybe collected in your vicinity, that you said, this is the heritage that I think needs to be preserved? How do you wish to go forward to preserve, as an activist, the African art space?
Yeah. So when it comes to creativity, I always try to bring, let's say, players of instruments of different African
heritage.
Let's say I'll bring somebody who plays maskandi to bring a little vibe into my music. Maybe somebody from Senegal, Mali, you know, to play some instrument. And then also I collect the physical instrument as part of my way of preserving and also learning how to play them, so that hopefully at some point it can be passed on to the next generation, you know what I mean? And also try to present the art in the African language, not just singing in English all the time. So I try to sing more in the vernacular language also, as part of preserving
Our culture.
Yes.
Here we go. Judge?
It's Ghana, yes.
Uh-huh.
Many schools in Ghana have been adopting school uniforms made from locally produced Ankara threads and other traditional fabrics to promote Ghanaian heritage, reduce reliance on imported clothes, and support the local textile industry. Yeah, so it's Ghana.
So Ghana is getting it right. I think Burkina Faso too. I think there's something Traore spoke about. I think, yeah, because even the what do you call those things, those wigs that the lawyers used to wear in court, they are banned in Burkina Faso because he is trying his level best. I think even their gowns now, they are painted with the fabric, you know, of Burkinabe heritage, just to reflect on who they are as the people, the Burkinabe people. Yes. Art-wise, here in South Africa, one artist you wish to have a mad collaboration with, who would you say that artist is?
Corbett.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dr. Colbert Mukwege.
Yeah, I'd love to do a song with him. And Tandiswa.
Mazwaye.
I would love to do a song with her. Can I speak of those that are not with us physically today?
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
I was a fan of Jabu Nkanyide.
Jao, yeah.
Yeah, so I would have loved to do a song with him. Like it would be obvious. Your Ringos, I would like to do songs with such people. You know? And yeah, so far I think those are the people that come to mind now.
When you think of collaboration.
Yeah. I would love to do some songs with them. You know, at some point, and I'm positive it will happen.
It is going to happen. You've
happen.
done serious collaborations, just a matter of working on it. It's going to happen. Do you have any EP that's coming up that you're working on?
Yeah, I have projects that I'm working on, and hopefully early next year, or maybe before closure of this year, maybe I'll pull out a single. But Yeah, I'm working. I try to work with international productions. So I'm working with some guys from Germany, and I was meant to travel, and there was a suggestion I should do some vocals from that side, so that because some beats were made there, many beats were made there, so they're like, why don't you just come and also do the vocals here? But we'll see. If I get the Schengen visa,
The international space now seems not to be looking good our way when it comes to traveling towards European countries. Things are all messed up. The things that are happening around the globe right now, politically, political landscapes is just shifting in a way that, that it seems like it's a tug of war.
Yeah, we are stopping each other from being part of each other.
And that's very funny. That is why if you look at it, the way he said it, we're stopping each other from being
part of each other.
from being part of each other. You look at it as a very funny thing. I wanted to ask you about the autobiography movie for the legend Bob Marley.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
It being a movie, and
I think Ziggy is one of the people who was very much involved in working on the movie.
Yeah, I read
because it's one of the people who was close to his dad.
Yeah. He was one of the earliest kids, I guess, and maybe being the firstborn son, also maybe he was given more power or something. It depends on what the family decides, I guess, But I've read a lot of books of Bob, seen a lot of documentaries before the movie came out, and I would think it did tell a story for what it is, being a movie. You know what I mean? Yeah, as much as one would pick up that in every movie, it's not like every scene would tell everything. It would just touch on that, touch on that, touch on that. So it did touch on many aspects of Bob Marley's life, and for me, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. For me, I'm fine, because end of the day, it's not like one is limited to the movie. If you want to know more about Bob, I mean, they could even do a 2 if they wanted a part 2, you know what I mean? So, but for somebody who never knew Bob, definitely it is an introduction to someone, to getting to know him, you know what I mean? And I've seen different biopics of artists, and they just touch here and there, and there's no one that would tell a full story in the way maybe people imagined or hoped or wanted. So for me, it did a job. It did a great job. It did a job that it was meant to do.
Yeah, because it's one autobiography that when it came out, like when the movie came out itself, a lot of people were worried that, I think the lead, you can judge, check that for us, the lead who was on the Bob Marley movie, I think he was white or he was of British descent, and a lot of people were against it.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of chaos around the scene setting and whatnot, more especially people from the Jamaican community. Yeah, but all in all, there's many angles to Bob. You can always get another angle.
Like I mean, I always say information is important, but it seems like people are quick to criticize because we have the platforms, social media, unfortunately, or fortunately, that people can use to air their views. But sometimes we lack information, and you can't stop a person from sharing what they think, you know what I mean? And sometimes it'll be more negatives than positives, I'll give an example. Allow me to that. One artist from Malawi was asked by a TV presenter that, have you reached a point of demanding what drink you want when you travel, or what place you want to sleep in? It seemed to me the person interviewing didn't know much about tech rider, didn't know about hospitality rider, but he was looking at the person like, maybe you're being bossy or you are exerting yourself too much. How can you demand? I being a vegetarian, when I travel, I have to put that I eat A, B, C, D, and that's not being a diva or being difficult. So when I love what the artist said. He said, yes, I've reached that level. When am I going to reach that level? It depends on the show. If I have to live in a 5-star, if I have to ask that, no, I want a business class flight, it's within the artist's right to do that, and I don't see that as anything being funny or being too demanding. You know what I mean? So with people, when coming back to the movie, I see that maybe we don't know what much about production. My little knowledge would say that there's the business aspect to it. The person that was chosen to act, he has a good, I would say, profile as an actor. You know, some were saying one of the sons could have done it. I don't think it will make sense. You know what I mean?
You need an actor.
Yes. You know.
In any case, I think Ziggy was hands-on in deciding what
Yes,
should happen.
yes.
And he was close to his dad, so he
Yes.
knows his dad very well.
Exactly.
He knew his dad very well.
Yes.
George?
Yeah, the lead actor playing Bob Marley on One Love is of British descendant.
Yes, that's
His
what
name
caused chaos.
is Ben Adir.
I think that's what caused a little bit of friction. They
Yeah.
asked, why couldn't they get somebody of Jamaican descent? Why couldn't they get his son
But would it bring
out that life?
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
as a business part of it now, looking at it, you know what I mean? And also remember, also we had a situation here in SA whereby so many movies of Mandela, people would say, why did they choose it? Why not a local act?
Yeah.
Why this? I think there was a rugby one, and there's a
Yes,
few
the rugby one was Morgan Freeman.
Uh-huh.
There's another one acted by Idris Elba.
Uh-huh.
I think also, I don't know, was it Terrence Howard who acted as Nelson Mandela? I think there are several Hollywood movie stars who acted as Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, so
Most South Africans didn't like it.
yes, but if you get to
It was this guy, man. Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba acted as Nelson Mandela.
I haven't watched the Idris, but
yeah.
I think
Even Morgan Freeman acted as Nelson Mandela, and people were not approving of it because they wanted somebody local.
pronounced.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not about someone local. It's about, I think, the profile of the actor, the way I see it, I view it. Because at the end of the day, you need to get the returns back financially out of it. You know what I mean?
You need to get seats at the cinema, at the block. It's a blockbuster after all. You need seats at the cinema.
That's it.
And usually they go for big names when they go to the cinema.
That's what I'm saying. So we lack that information, knowledge, but we are quick to criticize. Why did it? And most of the time, like Ziggy got criticized a lot, but he was hands-on, like you said. Also, I think the Mandela family was criticized, but sometimes they don't have that power now of production and directing, and it depends on what deal you signed, you know what I mean? But end of the day, I think it's about getting the seats, you know?
So where to from here for Brother Born African?
You know what? For as long as I'm breathing, my formula is the same. Music, positivity, constructiveness, activism, being a human. I tell myself I'm here to serve humanity, you know? So I'm working on a Born Afrikan Foundation. I think it will give me more platform to be able to serve the people in many ways, you know? So yeah, we keep working as long as the energy allows and the universe says yes, you know?
Yeah. And for people who love following the reggae music, the platform that you wanted to say something, Josh? Oh, he wanted to ask you if you smoke ganja. Ask. You're on the mic. Ask.
I wanted his opinion about the legalization of
Okay.
Of ganja.
in South Africa.
Okay. The legalization of ganja in South Africa.
Marijuana.
Ganja, sensimania. It has brought a lot of, for me, a lot of sadness and happiness. With the knowledge I have. The brother who was hustling on the street, who can't afford a license, has lost business in terms of selling. The buyer who comes from the suburb, from a strong economy, has gotten the business because he can afford the license, and he has opened up shops, and now he's able to grow, distribute, and all of that. So I think there has to be a way whereby those that maybe cannot afford the licenses, mostly, let me be frank about it, the black people who cannot afford, they should be accommodated, incorporated into it. more so the Rastafarian people who have fought for the legalization of weed. Rastas have been sort of like left out, but they're the ones who have been jailed, prosecuted, beaten up for fighting for the legalization of weed. Namely Prince, the Gareth Prince from Cape Town. He could even practice as a lawyer, but he was the one in the forefront of the legalization of weed. But I can tell you he's not even benefiting from it. But he's the one who fought for the legalization of weed. There's actually even a Gareth Prince clause in a parliament that to do with the legalization of weed, and there has to be a balance. I feel it's not balanced. I feel like the people who really fought for the legalization of the ganja are not the ones who are benefiting. So we need to do something about it. Maybe something has to be done. And those who make the laws, who decide, they need to go back to the ground to say, are you happy, guys? Because really and true, people who have suffered mostly is the Rastas, without beating about the bush, is the Rastas, and they're not getting anything out of
They
it.
suffer today. I think Rastas are the most stigmatized, yet the most educated and conscious
Informed.
and disciplined people.
Yes.
I
very
don't get, do you think the stigma is owing to illiteracy and lack of knowledge?
Yeah.
Or is there a propaganda that the Western media was pushing against the plant itself?
If you fall into the propaganda, also it's illiteracy, isn't it? Yes. So people need to be more open-minded about it. But some, I think it's a choice they choose, because sometimes you get a chance to sit with people that are not Rastas, of different races. I don't want to mention the races here, but not black, definitely. And you see how much they say they listen to reggae, they love Peter Tosh, they love Lucky Dube, they love, and which means they listen to the consciousness of it. But now, why do you act dumb? Why do you act like this is poisonous? Why do you like this is evil? They know Rastas are harmless, but sometimes they act like these people are violent. There's no violent Rasta out there.
I think
I think it's a choice somehow, sometimes, because the information is out there. And Rastas are very, very peaceful people, very loving, caring, one love people,
with whiteness, I think with when it comes to Rastas, they understand how dangerous Rastas are, because the danger of a Rastaman is in the written word.
Sure.
And I think they get that.
Yes.
The written word
Yes.
is the danger of a Rastaman.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think they get that.
So it's a choice that they castigate Rastaman. It's not. Let's not blame it on just media or
The system.
misinformed. Yeah, it's system set to sideline these ones, because if you give these ones a dead platform, that danger is coming.
Yeah, they're going to preach. They're going to teach.
But something positive about it today, you find that people don't wear dreadlocks now, but they have so much fire in them. They have so much knowledge, and the work continues. So to those who just think that Rasta now is about dreadlocks, unfortunately, you didn't see this one coming. There's so many don't wear dreadlocks, and they are on the same mission. They're doing the same work that you despise, that maybe you don't want it seen, you don't want to see it promoted out there. So I gotta say thank you to those people that don't wear dreadlocks, but you're doing the positive works in the same line of Rasta thinking, Rasta way of doing things, in your activism way of doing things, African way of doing things, in promoting our culture, our positivity, our togetherness, our values. You know what I mean? So yeah, we are many. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that, the foundation has been laid and the seed has been planted.
True.
Where can people locate your work? It's Spotify, it's Apple, Facebook, all the socials where people can locate your work.
Yeah, the music is definitely on Spotify. Almost all online music stores, it's available. The music is available. As of me, I'm on X, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. Born African with a K, Born African. So the African should be K-A-N at the end. Yeah. Yeah.
Brother Born, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence on the SAK podcast.
It's an honor to be
And
here.
to all, may you subscribe. Let's subscribe, let's share, let's like, let's comment. We're the SAK podcast on YouTube. Thank you very much, Born.
Thank you.
Aha.